How's it going, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about muscle tightness. So this one is common. Most people, including myself, have some sort of area that that they feel some sort of tightness. A lot of times it's the neck or the lower back. Now, the thing about muscle tightness is there's two main things. It's either you're going to be super tight because you're really, really strong and you generally train in a super limited range of motion, or you're actually weak and your body feels unstable in certain ranges. So what this could look like is, for instance, I love using squat because it's an easy one to kind of pick on. So for instance, if you're going down and your lower back feels tight in a squat, bearing any kind of anatomical issues, disc issues, you got evaluated by like a physical therapist or something like that, and they told you there's something wrong. But if none of those things is the case and you just happen to pick up squatting, you're squatting and you feel tightness in your lower back, that can mean that it's not necessarily weak. You just don't have the proper mobility in the areas opposite of the lower back. So generally people have tight hips, tight lower back, their core is weak, their glutes are weak. So this is just an example of why certain areas might be tight. And also too, you might not be familiar with the range of motion that you're going down into. A lot of people can squat, call them like quarter squats versus going all the way down to the ground. Some people it's okay to go down to the ground. Other people it's not. But if you're squatting down into a range of motion that you are not familiar with and your body doesn't know how to handle, everything is going to kind of lock up. It's going to be super unstable. You're not going to feel good. So a couple different ways of thinking about it. And so we just the muscle tightness feeling. The reasons why could be that you're not mobile enough, and then there's the weak aspect. So for instance, let's use overhead press. So if you're overhead pressing and your upper back is tight, you're not used to your shoulders aren't used to doing the full range of motion. They're super, super tight. That can be caused because your shoulder blades are actually not used to moving how they're naturally supposed to move, and they're actually weak. So everything's going to kind of lock up. Well, that's an example of what happens if a muscle's weak, if certain muscles are weak, and if you feel that tightness because of it. So kind of two different ways, and again, everyone's a little bit different, but was training a client this morning, and her hips were feeling super tight, so her lower back was tight. So what we did is we did some hip mobility drills, and it actually helped clear up some of that perpetual lower back tightness that she was feeling. Again, because the hips are supposed to be super, super mobile, super fluid, and they were kind of locked up, so the lower back's tight. So a couple different examples there. And let's see. Just gonna blast out some time walking today, I think. Leveling up the Rogue. I like to think of there's kind of like three core aspects of your training. There's strength, there's your mobility, and there's your stability, and they kind of work in tandem with one another in this kind of like triangle. And if you're weak, I think strength is probably the pillar, the foundation of pretty much all pursuits. It just makes everything else easier. But at the same time, if you're not very stable in the movement that you're doing, things are going to be tight. You're not going to be as mobile, which isn't going to allow you to express your strength to its full capacity. Ooh, I haven't done this one in a while. Oh my god! I just looked over. I just realized why is this frozen? That should not be frozen like that. That is a good question. Why on earth is that frozen? Might have to reboot the picture.